Hello, everyone. Good evening. Today I'm going to talk about the Mayan calendar and my beliefs about it, based on all my research. They're just theories of several things that could happen and why your heart needs to be in the right condition at this hour. Alright, first off, with the calendar, is we're in the final phase of it. And in this final phase, according to Dr. Kellerman, there will be a lot of falling of falsehoods and false systems, which could include, more than likely, the collapse of the world economy, or even just a few economies like the dollar. But the point is that these are false systems, okay? And it could also be a test for us, also too, a final culling, or how do I want to put it? A final separation of the wheat from the chaff, so to speak, to see who is sincerely in their heart ready to basically go the next step, and who is still attached to the things of this world type thing. I mean, if the dollar collapsed, it would have huge implications, say here, just alone in America, for lots of Americans, like property, you name it, and that would test you to the max. Where's your faith at? Where's your heart? You know, when you look at money, they the term they use for it is currency, or current. I'm gonna say it's currency, but if you pronounce it currency, in other words, it's the current that's coming from. It's okay. If you understand that there's emblems and things on your money, those emblems are actually part of talismans that were put on the money. The money is magic. It's a form of magic. So currency controls the current coming out of your spirit. It controls how you view the world. In other words, what it does is it comes in and enslaves you to a materialistic world. Do you want to be bound to a materialistic world that loves money more than people, for instance? So that's my theory on there. And as far as the rest of the Mayan calendar, let's get to the final month, which is October this year. Okay, from my understanding, is these asteroids or comets are just going to make an appearance in the sky as signs. There's 3 of them, I think, and they're just going to make a routine flyby. I don't think there's going to be any tragic um what do I want to say? I'm losing my thoughts. I'm trying to get better at talking on here. Disasters. Okay, no, I just don't visualize that. I think it's gonna be more just a signs in the sky type thing. And I think when we get to the final date, this is what's gonna happen. Is I've heard that we're supposed to go into 2 or 3 days of darkness. Now, it was scary in the ancient times, but we gotta realize, A, they didn't have electricity. Modern man has, for the most part, electricity. So, people would be in their houses talking and discussing the final hours. You would have a couple days to think about things as we're going into the galactic core, so to speak. That might be a final time for you to decide, do I want to, go this way or that way? Now, from my understanding, is what's the deal is, the planet or the Milky Way is either I've heard two different ones, that the planet, actually is moving with the sun, following after the sun, and it's going to go. The sun is going to go plunge into the Milky Way. Or the other is that the Milky Way comes over, comes over the path, comes over the Earth and all that. Either way, once it's in there, what it does is it connects us to the universal, I guess you'd call it the tree of life. We're going to be connected to everything at that point. Okay. And the reason why I said the condition of the heart is very important at this time is because, okay, your heart is like you right now are putting your thought to what you want to manifest, the new world that you want. If you want a world of money, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get in more of the same, working in the material world. If you are looking at doom and gloom, you're gonna see some sort of, like, you're predicting that the comets are gonna hit the earth and destroy it. That's the world you're gonna get. If you're predicting that you ascend, that's what you're gonna get. Okay, you say, how is that possible that there's gonna be these multiple outcomes? You ever heard of Michio Kaku's, he calls it string theory? It's how can be multiple or parallel universes alongside. What I see is like the timeline is going to split at this point. And there's going to be quite a few different paths depending on the condition of your heart. Okay? So your heart, and what your heart wants, is going to be very important. So you must look at your intentions. Did you see the movie Prince of Persia, Sands of Time? Okay, this would be the best example I thought of explaining how this is going to work to you. Okay, in the movie, the prince picks up a knife. The knife contains the sands of time. No, we're not going to pick up the sands of time, but it has the power that if it can reverse time, okay? And in the movie, towards the very end, he's at a pivotal situation where his brother just died. His uncle's taken over the kingdom. He's the only brother left living. Okay, so he gets in a big fight over the knife, gets a hold of the knife, puts it in this thing he has too. When he does this, because the person that's only holding the knife knows what happens, it reverses the time process all the way back to when he originally found the knife. And a new path in time started, and he had a new, fresh outcome, the outcome that he originally wanted. Well, this is the same thing here. That's it. You're going to get that outcome, but what's going to happen is you're the only one that's going to notice the difference in your timeline. Okay? If you wake up and nothing seems to have happened, okay? But we could be in other timelines, while still having an aspect of ourselves in yours. But to you, it's going to look like nothing happened, maybe, and maybe things will go on pretty much as you expect them to, whereas somebody else will get what they want. But we won't. But we won't be. How do I want to put it? It'll be like that knife. I was thinking tonight, maybe it's a culmination effect when goes into the, when we actually come into contact with the tree or whatever, is that it will go, because our heart has been generating for so long, manifesting the world we want. It'll go back to a certain point and start there again, maybe, or something. And from the perspective of what our heart wanted, that could be one situation. But that's what I wanted to say about it. And it may be in your world that, like I said, nothing tragic is gonna happen. You won't even know, it'll look like everything's normal. And tonight I was sent an email to look at another letter. There's another person out there. They're saying that there's these portals and that we need to go to them. From my understanding, we do not even have to leave our home. We just stay here. We stay here like we normally do. You won't have to go to any special portal or anything like that. That's a bunch of baloney. So if somebody's out there selling that is incorrect, as far as I can tell. That's my theory on the ascension. So either way, it's not going to be the end of the world unless you want that in your heart. If you don't want the end of the world, you're not going to get that. So there's no doom and gloom. I don't see doom and gloom at all in the future. I think humanity's got a sighting a future ahead. Well, take care, Namaste.